Hi, I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the World Wide Web. I am the Magic the Gathering content creating equivalent of stealing an elderly relative's mobility scooter and terrorising the local neighbourhood. Welcome to Jackass. I had a dream of tapping multiple cloud posts to generate a metric shit ton of mana and dumping it into a Banefire so thick it would make Kim Kardashian jealous.
PleasantKenobi.
What a f***ing loser.
The problem is that when I started to look at legacy cloud post lists, I started to, I don't know, think of days gone by. I started to get all giddy at the idea of casting a load of Primeval Titans again, because that boy is dummy thick.
Colonel. Dummy thick. My ass cheeks keeps alerting the Colonel.
So although I was borrowing cards and ideas from its sister deck in Modern, Monored Tron, I thought instead I would go for green, perhaps splashing red, as Banefire for a win condition. Green provides us with some really sweet tools, whilst Banefire secures us some big mana kills that, you know, get me frothing at the gash. And along the way we can potentially cast some Eldrazi when the big mana Banefire plan goes to shit. For those of you that don't know, Cloud Post is Legacy's answer to Tron. It's the format's biggest mana deck, looking to utilise the power of the Locust lands that are banned in Modern to generate buckets and buckets of tasty mana, and then sculpt that mana like Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze into some sort of 15 mana pottery creation. We will be utilising expedition maps, crop rotations, ancient stirrings and primeval titans to assemble our collection of mana producing lands or utility lands in some cases, whilst our win conditions can be Titan Beatdown, an early Karn, an early Ugin, Eldrazi like Emrakul like Ulamog, or of course a Banefire for lethal. Because nothing says fuck you like a Banefire for 26 damage. If you haven't seen Monored Tron previously, a deck that I've played several times on the channel in Modern, then I'll put links in the description below to a playlist of that deck. We have borrowed cards from Monored Tron tech, like Solemn Simulacrum to ensure we hit land drops and to speed bump a creature-based onslaught, Pyromancer's Goggles to ensure that we always have that singular red mana that we need to kill with Banefire, or to double it to make sure we kill with Banefire, and I am playing a singular Chandra of the Firebrand for old time's sake, even though she's shit. Basically, she's there to down, tick and double our Banefires, although I'm happy to double an Ancient Stirrings in a pinch. One of the most exciting legacy-only cards that I haven't resolved on the channel yet is Candelabra of Tornos. This is a reserved list card that pushes Cloud Post to silly heights of power. At time of recording, it costs about $9,000 in paper and $5 on Modo. Why aren't more people playing Legacy on Modo? We are packing a pair. They can be used to untap multiple Cloud Posts with the activation of one Cloud Post, sometimes doubling, tripling, or even quadrupling our mana depending on how many Cloud Posts we have in play. And yes, that does sound kind of hot and expensive, not unlike a pokey bumwank from a particularly expensive or high-end sex worker. Yeah, we've all got our kinks, just leave me to untap my lands, alright? We're playing one Green Sun Zenith as our 5th copy of Titan, as it's basically 7 mana Primeval Titan with only 1 green pip of mana. 2 Sylvan Library allows us to both grind, but also once we've assembled our mana and we're shuffling our library with things like Primeval Titans and crop rotations, allows us to find the combo pieces that we need. We have 1 powerful utility land in Caracas in the main board, as well as Eye of Ugin that allows us to have inevitability of searching up Emrakul and Ulamog. In the sideboard we have more utility in Bojuka Bog and Mazavith, as well as cards that allow us to destroy pesky things like Ensnaring Bridges, Chalice of the Voids, and of course we're packing Surgical Extraction because we need to be able to beat graveyard decks. Our combo killers are 3 Sphere of Resistance and 2 Thought-Knot Seer. How do I expect this to go? Badly, probably. But I came here to cast Banefires and weep openly when I fail, so let's get to weeping. We keep a hand with Banefire, a Cloud Post, and a Vesuva, and a Crop Rotation. Caracas also gives us game against Show and Tell, Reanimator, Death Attackers, and Dark Depths variants, including Turbo Depths, 4-color Loam variants, and lands as well. They Inquisition me, and I imagine they either A, laugh at me with this assortment of cards including a Banefire, or B, feel terrified at this odd assortment of cards including a Banefire? Please let me know in the comment section below how you would feel walking into this hand with an Inquisition. They take our crop rotation, which makes sense as it's our most immediate piece of action we have, and we immediately draw a second Banefire.
They do move in herds.
News just in, this is shit. They Inquisition us again. Inquisition plus these lands, Urborg and the Thespian stage, almost guarantees that this is a Dark Depths combo of some kind. I decided for this reason to keep my Caracas back initially to avoid it either getting wastelanded or prematurely needled. Now of course they know that this is coming because of the hand disruption, they've seen the Caracas, but we don't need to play it too early. This gives our opponent the opportunity to blank on the card when they're looking at our hand. It gives them the opportunity to forget, to misplay, or to feel the need to needle something else like a freshly drawn Khan or similar. We want to play a Caracas at the last moment we can to avoid risk. Inquisition takes one of our poor Banefires and we draw a Solemn. They untap and miss a land drop. We draw crop rotation, so I decide to rotate my forest into a Cloud Post, then play a Vesuva to copy it. Dark Depths doesn't often play Wasteland as they want to preemptively name it with the main deck needles that they have, but I don't want to run any risks here if I don't have to, and I've seen some lists playing Wasteland as part of their crop rotation package, so I need to be aware of this and play it safe where I can. They miss another land drop. We play a Glimmer Post and go up to 23 life, which puts us out of one-shot Marit Lage range, and play Solemn, fetching up a forest. They miss another land drop. I guess we might win a game today. Sorry. We map for a Cloud Post, play it, and attack with our Solemn. We can cast a Banefire for 15 next turn, so we are so close. I could almost taste it. Then they Thoughtseize us, taking away our Banefire.
So basically, what I was thinking of was, oh fuck, I can't believe you've done this.
To say I'm disappointed in this train of events would be an understatement. Fuck you, Thoughtseize! Fuck you! We attack them for 2, taking them to 14. They finally hit another land drop, kind of. They play a Mox Diamond, pitching a Thespian stage, and Sylvan Scrying for Dark Depths. Look, it's nothing personal, mate, but you forced my hand here. I instead rotate my forest into an Eye of Ugin, and then before I can fetch an Emrakul, they concede. Got him. In some ways, it makes me regret putting Eldrazi in the deck at all. If they're just going to scoop to the land in the first place, we could have just used it to spook people out. But in reality, I can just fetch Stuffy Dolls and Solemn Simulacrums with it. We keep a hand that has a shitload of mana in it, but no coloured sources. My theory is that we will either draw a coloured source, a map, or a Solemn, so we have a lot of live draws, and crop rotation is essentially a Caracas or Maze of Ith out of the sideboard, so this is a fine keep. We in fact draw a Taiga because I never didn't have it, and we play Cloud Post and pass. Turn 2 Hex Mage from them, we untap, play a Taiga and pass back, keeping up crop rotation after drawing the second green source needed for the Primeval Titan in hand, because it's better to be lucky in Magic than actually any good. They play a Dark Depths.
Nuclear launch detected.
The combo is assembled, kids. They then Sylvan Scrying for a Wasteland, attack us for 2. This is looking a little dicey. I decided to force the issue here by casting the world's smallest and most unimpressive Banefire in the history of Banefires. X equals 1, targeting this vampire. If they go for the Marit Lage, I get to crop rotate out of this wooded foothills, bounce the token, and have a Caracas online, ready to counteract the combo moving forward. They do not take the bait even though they got a Wasteland in hand for the Caracas, and let the vamp die. We play a Glimmer Post to put our life back up to 20. They crack a fetch and cast Sylvan Safekeeper and Vampire Hexmage, making Caracas nowhere near good enough an answer now. Fuck. We play a second Glimmer Post, putting our life up to 23, meaning a swing from a 20/20 and a 1/1 won't actually kill us. They decide to not make a Marit Lage in end step instead of opting to untap and swing. I am unsure if this is a mistake here from them. They should have just gone as hard as they could, I think. They take us to 20 and play a second Hexmage. They could theoretically Wasteland us off mana here because Caracas doesn't do anything against the Sylvan Safekeeper, but they might also be trying to play around Glacial Chasm as another utility land that post decks sometimes play. I considered crop rotation in my turn for another Cloud Post in order to generate enough mana to play Ugin this turn, but instead we draw Candelabra, which turns our deck up to 11. It essentially makes Cloud Post go super fucking Saiyan. We crack a fetch for green and then cast Candelabra off our Cloud Post. They Wasteland in response to do some damage control and minimise the effect of this Candelabra. We crop rotate in response to this, which they decide to respond to by Vampire Hexmage in their own Dark Depths to make a 20/20 in case we go and grab a Wasteland, I guess. We grab another Cloud Post and use the floating mana to untap some lands and transfer one colourless mana into another green. We cast a Primeval Titan in order to fetch up 2 more Glimmer Posts and put our life to 29. Short of a card like Rite of Consumption, which some Dark Depths decks play in their sideboard to beat decks like Lands and Death and Taxes and all their blockers and Caracases and shit, we are in a good spot. They attack for 20 and we go to 9, a second Dark Depths comes down. We cast a second Titan, grab ourselves 2 Vesuvas, copy our Cloud Posts. We ensure that one of our Cloud Posts is untapped in order to allow ourselves to untap Lands of Candle after combat, although this does actually open us up to a mid-combat blowout from a crop rotation to Wasteland if they're playing it. This is probably the closest we get in this matchup to our arsehole being the size of a 5p piece from clenching so hard. We attack, they decide to make another Merit Lage to block our Titan, almost like they might be respecting our potential Banefire with all this mana. They block and kill the Titan, but we get to fetch Caracas and Maze of Ith from the swing. We untap all of our lands thanks to Cloud Post, cast an Ugin, and exile their board. They scoop it up. GG Cloud Post E. Sorry, I got a bit hungry during recording, so I thought I'd stop for a snack. Weirdly, I won the game where I was able to cast 3 Primeval Titans and an Ugin. Who would have thought it, eh? Turns out Candelabra is a pretty good magic card. Round 2, we're paired up against EW Landon, one of the regular Legacy trophy leaders online, and probably one of the best reanimated pilots in all of Legacy. So at least we know what he's on, I guess. With a map on Ancient Stones to find Caracas, so we keep this hand. Chancellor's revealed and Unmasked takes our crop rotation. End of our turn, they entomb for Grizzly B, untap and animate dead. They draw 14 cards, unmask our map, and then Lotus Petal into Cabal Therapy to take away our Ancient Stirrings. We draw and cast a 2-mana Ancient Stirrings, they slap us for 6, draw 7 more cards, unmask our Solemn and reanimate it, and I feel mortally fucking offended. We still want me to not draw into one of our Caracas and dig our way out of this, until he casts a Tidespite Torrent, and then starts to cast spells and bounce our lands. We are dead. In game 2 we have lots of mana, and I have Ugin, a Titan, and most importantly a Surgical Extraction. They unmask the Surgical from our hand, and then Dark Ritual Entomb, animate dead a Grizzlebrand into play and draw 14 cards. I mean, most decks will not beating this hand, right? This hand seems almost unbeatable. Is this frustrating to play against because it was absolutely nuts? Yeah, it was. But I guess a lot of combo decks have nut draws, and other decks would struggle to beat those nut draws, so I probably shouldn't complain. The game goes on for another turn, our hand gets torn apart, and he reanimates our own Primeval Titan, but leaves himself on 4 life. There is a chance here.
There's a chance.
We have 4 mana in play, a mountain in hand, and you are on 4 life, my friend. If we draw a Banefire, we win this game, and we get to play game 3 where we lose horribly again to this hideous pile of fatties and disruption. Can we do it? Can I believe in the heart of the cards? Play to your outs. Positive mental energy, manifest! You thick sod. You're not fucking Banefire. Get the fuck out of my house. This content and all videos on this channel are brought to you in part by channelfirewall.com, your #1 source for magic strategy and singles on the internet. They have an extensive selection of magic product over on their store, and videos and articles from some of the biggest names in magic. And that includes me, because I guess I'm kind of a big deal now. Also, there's content and all content on the channel supported by the generosity of people like you. Patreon transformed my life and allowed me to focus on creating entertainment for people on the internet. The largest contributors to my Patreon are on screen now. If you want to get involved with this community, if you want to join the Discord and help support the channel, follow the Patreon link down below to find out how. One of our newest additions to the community is Moist Violin. That is one fantastically sensual name for a patron. I salute you, you moist bastard. This hand seems fine. Green Sun Zenith is just Primeval Titan #5 and allows us to get a prime time off of 7 mana with it, which only one of which is green. So I'm unsure if this is correct having the deck, but I feel like it's fine in a big mana deck with so few creatures. Savannah, Green Suns for Dryad Arbor. This is probably Maverick, although it could also be Elves or some form of Loam. They land a Stoneforge Mystic and my arsehole Titans. If this card is banned in Modern, which it is, it must be incredibly powerful. How can I beat this? Actually, I'm a lot more scared of them having wastelands or not ever looking to go find wastelands. We dodge the wasteland bullet for a turn and cast a Sylvan Library. They play a Noble Hierarch, another non-wasteland land. We get attacked and they hold up the mana for Stoneforge Mystic activation end step. We use Sylvan Library to dig for a land, and we then cast on Ancient Stirrings knowing that as a minimum there's a Karn or Taiga on top of our library thanks to Sylvan Library, which is a cool interaction I've never seen or interacted with before. We find another Cloud Post, take it and play it. Our plan is just to cast Titan after Titan after Titan to win this game. We clench hard and pray for no wasteland here. They make a Sword of Fire nice and end step and then slap us for a bunch. We cast a Primeval Titan and fetch up a Cloud Post and a Glimmer Post, hoping that we might be able to find a Banefire off the Sylvan Library to kill them that way. They play a Mother of Runes and a Thalia. They decide not to attack this turn. Sylvan Library finds us a Candelabra and a Karn, and we now have our cake and we are ready to eat it. We attack, they don't block, and we fetch another Cloud Post and an Eye of Ugin. We float somewhere just short of 1 million mana, activate Eye of Ugin, grab Emrakul and get ready to cast her and a Karn, and then they decide to concede instead of watching this play out. Fucking Spoil Sports. Where's the fun in that? I was going to cast at least 2 more Titans and Ulamog on my second turn 5. Fair magic at its finest. We have sideboarded into our multiple copies of a Braid, which upon closer inspection I realise should probably be Crossing Grips, so that we have a sideboard answer to Blood Moon, as that card significantly hampers our ability to get anywhere anytime soon. Thoughtseize takes out a Braid and they turn to a Stoneforge Mystic. We draw a Robot and play a Cloud Post. They play a Tireless Tracker and play a land, which is sick value, and I'm genuinely unironically jealous. I fucking love Tireless Tracker. That card is absolutely absurd. We end up casting a Banefire for 2 to kill Stoneforge to slow them down, but we are plodding along here. We get hit down to 11 by an Exalted pumped up Tracker. I cast a Roadblock on turn 4, hoping to play a Titan next turn. They Palace Jade on my Roadblock, which makes everything feel worse. I dislike that we are probably going to die here, and I dislike even more that it's at the hands of one of my beloved jailers. We are slapped for 5. I cast a Titan and I misclick. I only take 1 life gain land in Glimmer Post, so I gain only 4 life instead of 10. With a Sword of Fire and Ice in hand, active Mother of Runes on board, and the mana to play and equip said sword, I just concede in shame. Game 3 gets off to a fantastic start. We mulligan to 6 and get our turn 1 Cloud Post wastelanded. We play a library and they play a library. We pay 4 life on our turn 4 in order to assure we hit land drops ongoing and have a Titan to cast. We Stirrings find a second Vesuva, and it pains me to put this Candelabra on the bottom of our library, but we just can't take it right now. Vesuva 1 copies our forest, and we just need to hit land drops real bad to get back in this game. They play an Excavator with their land drops from the turn already spent, and there's a wasteland in the graveyard. No fucking way. X ain't gonna give it to me this day. Banefire for 3 blows that motherfucking snake on this motherfucking plane to bits. Banefire for 1, 2, and now 3 so far. How dramatic. How not how I envisioned this to go. Our 4th land drop was a Caracas thanks to Sylvan Library digging deep. They play a Galactique, which makes me very happy we fired off that Banefire earlier. However, it makes me very sad to see 2 of the 3 of the top cards of our library be yet more Banefires.
They do move in herds.
We put them back on top and crop rotate to shuffle our library and find ourselves a Cloud Post, which we copy with our Vesuva. We then cast Ancient Stirrings and find an Emrakul. They end step Flash and Script Ranger, and they wasteland one of our Cloud Posts. Sadness. We allow them to slap us for 2 and bounce the Galactique and end step to keep any Green Suns in their hand locked away where possible. We find these off the library and put 2 non-lands back on top and play a Glimmer Post. Then we cast a Solemn Simulacrum which shuffles our library. They once again wasteland our Cloud Post, meaning that this Emrakul is never going to see the light of day. They also Thoughtseize our Primeval Titan away. Fuck. They attack us with Script Ranger and we bounce their freshly played Gaddock in end step. We pay 4 lives to dig a little deeper, cast a Solemn Simulacrum to get us ever closer to casting this Karn. We swing with a Robot, taking them to 9. They Ghost Quarter our Caracas and then play a Galactique and a Jitte. This means that Karn is now locked in our hand. The Wasteland Ghost Quarter for 3 turns felt pretty fucking brutal here. Sylvan Library shows that we're a little locked here at the top of our library, but it does find a Braid. Problem being we need to deal with both this Jitte and the Gaddock. Jitte wouldn't be too scary if we weren't on 10 life. It makes all of the creatures legitimate threats that can kill us rather quickly. We take the Abrade, which means we aren't hitting land drops to get us closer to Emrakul. They swing for 1 in the air, deciding to not go for the equip this turn. Post combat they untap their Ranger, make a land drop, float some mana, and then do nothing with it. I assume it's a 4-mana planeswalker like Garruk Relentless or Gideon, but they didn't realise Garruk Teague was locking in their hand before tapping their mana. What I should have done here is probably abrade the Garruk Teague in end step, so I can untap, hit a land drop and play Khan. Yeah, I made a bit of a mistake there. We find a Chandra that easily kills the Scrib Ranger, but can't be cast until Garruk Teague is dead. I hope they're too scared to equip this Jitte again this turn for whatever reason, so we can kill Garruk in end step, then kill Ranger with Chandra, and win by keeping off threats. Nope, they equip. We blow up the Jitte. Library finds us a second Primeval Titan finally. We attack with both robots. They fetch an Arbor, block, and return it to hand before damage with Scrib, and then path the other robot to avoid any damage at all. We cast a Thicky T and fetch up 2 Cloud Posts to ensure we can cast Emrakul next turn. They plow our Thick Lad and take us back to 16 before attacking for 3. They play an Arbor and a 10/10 Knight of the Reliquary. Speaking of thickness, that lady has the circumference of a small country, I do declare. I untap and I simply need to find one more Glimmer Post to get us there.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
We cast everyone's favourite Eldritch Spaghetti Monster and we win. GG Spaghetti.
They hating, patrolling and trying to catch me riding dirty.
In game 1, we dozed the familiar sight of 1 land in play, a Grizzly Bee and a Tidespout Tyrant bouncing our shit. News just in. We're fucked. In game 2, we have a Sphere of Resistance and a map to find Caracas. It's a bit sketchy, but I kept it, so what can I do? Turn 1 map from us, turn 1 looting from them, ditching a chance of the annex into the bin. We draw Surgical because I am a shiny golden god. We don't play Spheres, it would lock us out of Surgical. They go for the Unmask, so we respond by Surgicaling the only fatty in the yard. Their hand is Animate Dead, Chromox, Petal, and Magus of the Moon. Whoa there, cowboy. They take away our Solemn, then reanimate it. I am shook. We play a Sphere of Resistance, and they play a 1-mana Lotus Petal, and then slap us for 1. We untap and can't afford this TKS here, as it now costs 5 mana because of the Sphere, and when Magus of the Moon comes down, we shall lose our only colourless source, as it become a mountain, meaning our Thought-Knot Seer can no longer be cast, and it's locked in our hand, and fuck. We are 2 lands off casting our 7-mana Titans, and we draw another Thought-Knot Seer, and then another Titan. Magic gods, why? What did I do to disappoint you so? Oh. Okay, yeah, I see what I did. They blow up our Sphere in end step, and then they faithlessly loot, ditching a Tidespout Tyrant and animate it off of a ritual. Fun fact, this faithless looting wouldn't be in the graveyard to be used to enable this if we had played Bajuka Bob a turn earlier, on the turn where I realised I couldn't actually play the Thought-Knot Seer, but instead I played another land that didn't allow us to do anything. I am my own worst enemy. They play a Chromox and bounce a land, and it's over. Do you want to see pictures of my dog? Do you want to know what I've been eating at a restaurant? Or perhaps you just want to see pretty pictures of magic cards that I've bought for my Tattoo deck? Or behind the scenes hints of what is coming in future videos? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then follow me on Instagram, you fucking cowards. No, honestly, I need the follows and the likes to reaffirm my existence. It's a hollow life. So in game 1 I have a Forest in play, they go turn 2, Ponder, Dark Ritual, Buried Alive, put a metaphorical nest's worth of birds in the bin, and voila. Hey presto, for instant tilt, just add Phoenix. We go to 10. They then bird our brains out, leaving us on 1, but they are kind enough to finish off with the common courtesy of a reach around in the form of a lightning bolt. Turn 5, Ugin the Spirit Dragon was just too slow for this game. In game 2, they play a turn 2 Pyromancer, and we play a turn 3 Commander All-Star, Eugene. Wait, what? Not that one. Oh, the other Commander Staple. Solemn Simulacrum. So they cast Brainstorm, getting a token, and then Dark Ritual, getting a token. Then they cast a second Young Peasy, and they cast Cabal Therapy, getting 2 tokens, and they blind name Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which was in my hand. Now that was a shit hot soul read. I must admit, I guess from a Cloud Post deck, the best draw there would have been Ugin, so they were like getting rid of the best out we had. But that was pretty solid. I mean, I'm impressed. This therapy made 2 elementals, then they sack 1 to flash back and make 2 more other elementals and take our only other gas card as well. Yeah, that's value. We are up shit creek, it would seem, and instead of a paddle, all we have is a large self-made turd to row with. Every time you try to row, it just gets the turd more damp or moist, and your fingers dig in more, and it disintegrates and falls apart in your hand a bit. But your mama didn't raise no fucking quitter, so you raise it to your mouth and you suck out that moisture. You suck and you suck and you suck until that turd is dry, and then wait, Wait, what are we talking about? We draw Eye of Ugin, which is actually pretty fucking solid here. They swing with everything, and we trade Solemn for Pyro and take 7 going to 17, thanks to these little posts earlier. We draw a crop rotation off the robot's Valiant Sacrifice, and then draw a Candelabra. Interesting. We play Eye of Ugin and the Candlestick of Many Manners. We crop rotate a forest into a Cloud Post, and use our Candlestick to untap all our lands with a floating mana from a Cloud Post. They attack for 7, and we go to 10, and we fetch up Emrakul in their end step. We cast Big Mama E, and trigger to take an extra turn. We swing with our extra turn, they sack 2 lands and some elementals and go to 3 life. We float a load of mana and then use the candles to untap everything again, including these posts that are tapping for 5 mana each. We tutor up Nulamog and cast him, exiling both of their remaining lands, and they scoop. Got there. They leave Preordain in game 3, and I stir that which is ancient and find a map that allows us to find a Cloud Post. They cast a Dark Confidant and pass back. We play a map and we play a nearly $1,000 Candlestick because magic is silly. They ponder, then those petal out a Pyromancer. We map for our first Cloud Post. They brainstorm, Dark Ritual, and cast Buried Alive. But not on my watch, Sonny Jim. I cast Surgical on their birds and send them on their merry way to the Elysian Fields, free of this infernal subjugation. I do unfortunately see that the hand has a Cabal Therapy in it, and they have Pyromancer and Elementals. This is the fucking worst. We get hit for 4. They Therapy, Blind Numbing, Crop Rotation, Swing and a Miss. They then sack an Elemental to recast it, which replaces itself thanks to the Pyromancer. Yep, that's a value train. And they name Titan. Sadness is very, very real today, and its name is Hand Disruption. We untap and play a second expensive Candlestick, and then untap our lands and play a sad robot who ramps us. We then play a Sphere of Resistance to minimise the damage of multiple spells in a turn, although the Phoenix Menace is all but gone by now. They brainstorm, then flunge, we block and kill the Bob here, although which one I block is much of a muchness. We then draw Crop Rotation, which allows us to get an Eye of Ugin. I frantically tap and untap lands, but our total isn't the magical 20 or 15 we need for Emrakul or Ulamog respectively. We're even one short of fetching Solemn and playing more blocking duty. GG Bird E. So we came up 2-3, and Banefire ended up being a clunky removal spell that got consistently ripped from our hand, trimmed in sideboards, or shuffled away with Sylvan Library. What I learned is that Cloud Post is a legitimate deck, and Primeval Titans and Eldrazi sure are good magic cards when powered out by big mana early on. We probably would have won more games without the red splash, but where the fuck would the fun be in that? Let me know what you think of the deck, the matches, the video, the jokes. Let me know your favourite bit in the comment section below. Should I try a mono red Cloud Post variant where we play stuff we do on Blasphemous Act as well? Is that something you guys want to see? Cube Season's here. Legacy Cube is now live on Modo, and I'll be streaming that several days next week, possibly 4 or 5 days. So make sure you follow me on twitch.tv/PleasantKenobi to see when I go live, and follow me on Twitter for when I announce those things as well. Share this video with your friends. Make sure you leave a comment, like, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Vince, also known as PleasantKenobi on the internet. Think of me when you kiss your lover goodnight, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Ta-ta for now.